Hi there YouTube, how you doing today? This is Miss Bandwagon. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I appreciate it. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about a really good book that I just recently read, City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. If you're not familiar with Elizabeth Gilbert's work, she's the same author who wrote the, I believe, New York bestseller, Eat, Pray, Love. And I've never read Eat, Pray, Love, but this was a book that was provided by my book club, so I decided that I'd give it a go ahead and read. And oh yeah, #1 New York Times bestseller. She is right there. That's the lady. I really enjoyed reading this book. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, and I'll tell you why that is. Initially, when I start reading a book, I like to start from 5 stars, and then I'll start knocking down stars depending on like something that's really bad or something that I really would take out of the book, period. The first star that I took off was for the length. It's a very thick book, and it goes to almost 400. It's 466 pages, and for a length of a novel to be that long, I mean, like, it has to be really enticing the whole way through. It has to be like a sandwich, you know. It has to have, like, you know, a nice soft padded bun, and then, like, you know, the little crispy lettuce in the middle. I'm gonna use a lot of food analogies throughout this video, so just, like, you know, stick with me. And, like, you know, of course, the meat and the potatoes. If you want to use a Fritex pyramid, sure, but it's like, I feel as though the length of the book could have been shortened down to at least 100 pages. If we had a good solid 3 to 350, I could forgive that, but for 466 pages, we're just kind of like meandering through the character's life. Even though a life is chronologically supposed to go in one way, I just feel like we were just kind of simmering too long in too many unimportant parts of the character's life. I feel like Gilbert was trying to give us a whopper of a story, but then you end up just picking out, you know, those, you know, that extra piece of bread in the middle. You end up taking out maybe that tomato that you don't like, you know, maybe you end up scraping off some of the sauce. It's just so much. Like, maybe depending on what parts you read in the book, it's like, oh my gosh, I really love this part, I wish you could have expounded more on it. Or a part where it's just like, I really don't care for this part, I really don't care for this character. And you just kind of like pick and choose the parts that you like instead of really enjoying the entirety of the character's life. You know when, like, you're drinking or eating a bowl of cereal and you pour so much milk into the bowl, so like you're eating the cereal and then you're stuck with like a bunch of milk, and because the cereal was so good, it makes the milk taste better, but you don't want to eat a whole giant bowl of milk, but you don't want to waste it, so you have to force yourself to finish drinking the milk even though there's no cereal left. And that's what it felt like. I think that at 300 pages or 350 pages, I ran out of cereal. And then the rest of the book, I was forced to drink the milk. That is the best way I could describe the length of the book. So that's why I had to take off 1 star. The second star that I took off of the book was because plot points. It felt like I was eating a cookie in which you have a really big cookie, but you only have like 5 chocolate chips in it, and the chocolate chips morsels are the plot points, and you just had to just eat around all this cookie. So the length of the book is one thing, but then like the size of, like, you know, all the things that happen. So imagine if, like, you're eating the cookie that is the story, but then now when you get to major plot points, that's when you have a chocolate chip. So it's like a giant cookie with like 5 plot points, and you're just like, okay, all right, I get it, I understand. And for that, it's just like, I just need a little bit more substance to grab onto. Kind of like when you're swimming and it's like, okay, only 5 more miles into the next one, into the next marker, you can rest. And then 10 more miles to the next marker, you can rest. And it's like, I need more markers, something I can latch onto as I'm reading it. And it's just enough that the way that Gilbert writes her books is just so flavorful. And perhaps the reason why I think that I don't have much morsels in the way of the story is because it really imitates human life. If you look at your life and mine, not amazing things are happening every day. Something good may happen something tremendous could happen once a year, but nothing that, you know, you could really write home about. So maybe perhaps this is why I have a problem with that. So perhaps I can move it to 3.5 stars, that the book truly imitates the human condition, that our lives are just so boring in a way. It's not boring, but we're just, she doesn't give the illusion that the character is so much more. I know that with characters and stories, we make them a little larger than life, and they have to be so spectacular, and they have to have so much going on with them. But Gilbert really does make her character Vivian Moore so human and so naive, and she makes grave mistakes, and she's industrious when she needs to, and she makes great decisions, and then she stumbles, but then she picks herself back up, kind of in the way that we do the same thing in our lives. So I can be a little forgiving and perhaps give her 3.5 stars. But that is my little small review of Elizabeth Gilbert's book, City of Girls. You know, I think that you should go read it. Don't worry, don't rush into it. It's gonna keep you occupied for a long time. So in the comment section below, I want you to do 2 things. 1, what is something that will make you take a star off of a book? And 2, if you've read this book, what is something that the author could have left out? Or what is something that she could have expounded upon? More reviews are coming soon, so if you don't want to miss them, ring the bell for notifications and follow me on Goodreads and all my other social media handles to talk to me there. See you next time. Bye.